Dumela. This video is about paper 2, DBE June 2023, and we will attempt to answer all these questions here. The first one, which is 1.1, wants us to indicate whether the following statements are true or false. You write only true or false next to the question number. And basically the answer book is something like this. So you just write true, false, true, false. 1.1.1. A credit balance on the bank statement means that the business has a positive balance in the bank. You need to know the relationship between the bank and the business. When the business deposits money into its own bank account with a respective bank, the business will debit the bank account since that represents an asset. On the bank side, that money that was deposited by the business, it is a liability as it does not belong to the bank, it belongs to the business. So we debit all the receipts, the bank credits them. We credit all the payments, the bank debits them. This is because on our side, the payments will reduce bank, and bank is an asset. When it decreases on the credit side. On the bank side, the business is a liability. When it increases on the credit side. So whatever we debit in the bank credits. We debit all the receipts, the bank credits all the receipts. We credit all the payments, and the bank debits all the payments. The payments represent less of what the bank owes you. It reduces what the bank owes you. For instance, if you deposit 20,000 Rand, the bank owes you 20,000 Rand. If you make a payment at, let's say, Pick and Pay, bad news is that it's going down. When you make that payment, it reduces what you have in the bank in your account. Therefore, the bank will owe you less. And for the bank to owe you less, they will debit your account. For them to owe you more, they will credit your account. Therefore, a credit balance in the bank statement represents a positive bank balance. 1.1.2. So 1.1.1 is true. 1.1.2. A debit card may be used to withdraw cash from an ATM. That is true. A debit card, to remember, is that card that you use to make payments, buy the till, and you can actually use it to withdraw money from any ATM. Always laugh at Capitec people. You'll find a long queue in the Capitec ATM, and next to it there'll be Standard Bank. And for using the Standard Bank ATM, you will only get charged like 6 Rand. I'd rather pay that than to wait for an hour. Okay. A bank overdraft is a short-term loan that is transferred into the business current bank account. That is not true. A bank overdraft, you apply for it, whereby the bank will allow you to use more than what you have. For instance, once you have been approved for an overdraft of 20,000, let's say in your bank account you have 10,000 Rand, and you see a nice gaming PC, let's say it costs 30,000 Rand. But remember what I said, in your bank account you only have 10,000 Rand, which is not enough for you to buy that gaming PC. So what will the bank do? It'll allow you to buy that gaming PC to the extent that you'll end up having negative 20,000 Rand in your bank. That negative 20,000 Rand is what we call bank overdraft. You can still buy for more. Let's say you want to, um, you're a spinner. I heard that spinners buy cars at a very cheap price and then they modify it to suit what they need. So let's say you buy a car at Box basically for 40,000 rand, but in your account in the bank, you only have 10,000 rand. So the bank can allow you to buy for 40,000 rand. So it is the 10,000 rand that you have in your bank account, and then the bank will allow you a 30,000 rand bank overdraft, which will attract interest. So no, an overdraft is not money that you get deposited into your account. That's a loan. A bank overdraft, it's what you can spend. You can actually spend more than what you have in your bank account. That's it. Let's see. So number 1.1.3 is false. 1.1.2 is also true, and 1.1.1 is true. We are also required to prepare cash journals, which is your cash receipts as well as your cash payments. We also require to calculate up the balance in the bank. Lastly, we need to prepare the bank reconciliation statement. This is how it works. Guys, you need to understand if a mistake is made by us, it is corrected in the cash journals. And to cancel a payment that was made, you record it in the CRJ. To cancel a receipt or money that was mistakenly received, you will cancel it in the CPJ. So all the mistakes that were made by us will be corrected either in the cash receipts journal or the cash payments journal. And all the mistakes that are made by the bank, we are going to record them in the bank reconciliation statements, RBS. We treat the bank reconciliation statement as though we are the bank, meaning that any deposits that were made into our bank account that the bank didn't credit, we are going to credit them in the bank reconciliation statement. And any payments that the bank didn't debit or were not appearing in the bank statement, we are going to record them on the debit side of the bank reconciliation statement. That is because when we prepare the bank reconciliation statement, we prepare it as though we are the bank. Let's get to it. Just remember, when you perform the bank reconciliation statement, you prepare three documents. You compare three, actually it's four when I think about it. It is the previous month's bank reconciliation statement. So you will compare it to the current bank statement. Any items that were in the previous month's bank reconciliation statements are in the current month bank statement. We tick them off. Any outstandings, we have to record them in the current year's bank reconciliation statement. If those outstandings are in previous month's bank reconciliation statement and they still don't appear in the bank statement. However, any mistakes that are in the bank reconciliation statement that are not done by the bank, we are going to record them or correct them in the cash journals, either the cash receipts journal or the cash payments journal. Once you have compared previous month's bank reconciliation statement with the current month's bank statement, you are going to compare cash journals of the current month with the bank statement of the current month. The cash receipts entries will be compared to the credit side of the bank statement. The cash payments entries will be compared to the debit side of your bank statement. I have explained this earlier on. Let us get to it. Here it says we start with a favorable balance as per bank statement. This is the opening balance for this month, but it was the closing balance for last month that was in the bank statement. Then we've got deposits on statements, which is 18th, and I refer to these ones as outstanding deposits. These are deposits that appear in the cash receipts journal, but they do not appear on the credit side of the bank statement. So we've got a deposit on the 18th of March, 2023, amounting to 23,600. And we also have a deposit on the 28th of March, 2023, amounting to 37,200. Outstanding EFTs, these are payments that are in the cash payments journal, but were not in the bank statement in March 2023. They were supposed to have been in the debit side, on the debit side of March's bank statement. And unfortunately, they were not there. That is why they were recorded in the bank reconciliation statement. And then according to this, it said the favorable balance as per bank account. This is for last month, and it is there right at the end of the month. It was 49,720. As a matter of fact, I can use that because I noticed that they wanted us to prepare the balance in the bank account. So I am going to put that in the bank account. I prefer to work with the general ledger account. Because bank is an asset, the debit means plus, the credit means minus. Because they said the balance was favorable, it will be on the plus side. Note that the bank account is always the same. The receipts will be on the debit side and the payments will be on the credit side. Let's read. The outstanding deposit on the 18th of March 2023 appeared on the April 2023 bank statement. I do not know why this was not ticked and did not appear in the bank statement for March, but however, it appeared in the bank statement for April. So what am I going to do with that? I'm just going to tick it. I won't record it anywhere because we were waiting for it to appear in the bank statement, and that is done. The deposit, which is this one here, on the 28th of March 2023, appeared as 220, well, 22,200. Sorry for that. An investigation revealed that the cashier has disappeared with the outstanding amount. Interesting. Why would you allow the cashier to make the deposit? And why do you only allow one person to make the deposit? Red flags. Then it says it was decided to write off the outstanding amount. Because this was a deposit, it means it was recorded in the CRJ as 37,200. But in the bank statement, it appeared as 22,200, meaning that our CRJ is overstated by the difference. To cancel that overstatement, we have to record the difference in the cash payments journal. Remember what I said earlier on? To cancel the receipts, you record them in the payments. To cancel the payments, you record them in the receipt. Here, it's not the bank that made the mistake, it is us. So we need to correct it in the cash journals. Because we want to reduce the receipts, the difference will be recorded in the cash payments journal. We already have the balances given to us. How much are we going to record in the cash payment journal? you will find the difference between 37,200 and 22,200. And that will be 15,000, which will be recorded in the cash payments journal. On to the next one. Both the EFTs were on the April statement, but EFT 768 appeared with the correct amount of 4,580. So we didn't have an issue with this EFT payment, so I'm just going to tick it. However, we had a problem with this one. The problem with this one is that we overpay because according to the bank, the money that went out of our bank account is only 4,580. But according to the cash payment, 5,480 went out of our bank account. That means we overpaid. To cancel the overpayment, we have to record the overstatement or the excess amount in the receipts. Remember, to correct or cancel the payment, we cancel or correct them in the CRJ. In the CRJ, I am going to record the difference between the two payments. The one according to us was 5,000. Okay. It is jumping the queue there. All right. Let me see if the sequence is correct now. So I will find the difference between the two. The 5,480 is the payment that we made, which was in the CPJ, and what actually went out of our bank account is 4,580, meaning that we actually paid this one. This one is correct. We actually didn't pay that. So the difference to cancel the excess, which is in the CPJ, will cancel it in the CRJ, which will be 900 Rand. All right. Looks like that's it. Because now they're giving me something else. I'm just going to go back there. Whatever is outstanding, we will still record it in the bank reconciliation statement. Okay, it doesn't look like there's anything outstanding, so I can move on. Let us move on to the next. We have provisional totals, which I showed you were already entered. And then they say information on the April 2023 bank statement. We've got a debit order there from Brilet Municipality. A debit order, remember, it goes out of our bank account directly. The only way to know, for us to know about the debit order is when we receive the bank statement. So now that 2,880 is what we have paid. Debit orders is what is the payment. We paid Brilet Municipality. So the bank is correct in this case. We are the ones that have not recorded this. And to record it, we are going to record it in the cash payments journal as 2,880. We have cash handling fee. We wouldn't have known about this, but that is a bank charge. I'm gonna scrutinize. I see that there's a deposit, there's a cash withdrawal, there's investment matured. Here it is, EFT and EFT. All of those are my bank charges. So you will just add them together and put them as bank charges. I need more info about this because I realized that EFT transaction fees 360. It appears twice. Same amount. Red flags. Let me just read. Okay. This one over here, we have dealt with it. Now they're talking about why Marigold, the tenant, deposited the monthly rent. Let me just go straight to that one. The monthly rent, how much is that monthly rent? It is this one here. So it will be recorded in the cash receipts journal. We are going to record it in the cash receipts journal by writing it as 8,400. It represents money we have received. Okay, let's read further. The deposit from Bentley microloans did not relate to the business. Oh, so that has nothing to do with us. The bank was informed of this error. So it's not us that made the error. It is the bank that made the error. The bank recorded this on the credit side of our account because it was a deposit from whoever, but it wasn't deposited to us. So the bank made a mistake. Interesting. So how do we correct that mistake? We can only correct it in the bank statement, but we can't do that. So we are going to record it or correct it in the bank reconciliation statement. Since it was recorded on the credit side, we are going to record it on the debit side. The net effect there is 0. The cash withdrawal of 740 was for fuel for the owner's vehicle. So this went out of our bank account. It was there in the bank statement, as you have seen. So we have dealt with that. This one was there in the bank statement, as you have seen. So now it represents a withdrawal, which is drawings, and that will be recorded. Cash withdrawals or cash drawings will be recorded in the cash payments journal. It's money going out of the bank account. The last point in D. The EFT transaction fees were duplicated on the bank statement in error. Duplicated means they were recorded twice. That's what I wanted. So I'm not going to record one of these. I'm just going to add it with that one. Okay. So I'm going to add this with that one. And I will go to my cash payments journal. It represents bank charges. They went out of our bank account. Therefore, it will be recorded in the cash payments journal. So I'm going to add them up and I will put them in the cash payment journal as 580. The other duplicate EFT transaction fee, it was the error made by the bank. The bank recorded it on the debit side of our account. So we are going to tell the bank to correct the error by correcting it, by recording it on the credit side. Remember the bank reconciliation statement. When we're done with it, we're going to send it to the bank. And the bank has to look at it and notice its own mistakes and correct them. All right. The cash journals reflected the following entries that did not appear on the April 2023 bank statement. So these were in the cash journals, whether CRJ or CPJ, but they were not in the bank statement. The first one is the deposit of 22,500. This was definitely in the CRJ. And since it was in the CRJ, it must have been recorded on the credit side of the bank statement. and it wasn't. So we are going to record it on the credit side of the bank statement on behalf of the bank. And remember, our bank statement as the business will be the bank reconciliation statement. That is the statement where we record the mistakes that were made by the bank. I will record that as debit outstanding deposit. Credit outstanding deposit. The flow is also not nice there. I just need to correct it. So we will record it as credit outstanding deposit because that's what the bank was supposed to have done. Then we've got two EFT payments, number 883 as well as number 884. The other one was for stationary purchase. The other one was for repairs to the buildings. Those will be recorded on the debit side of the bank statement. This could be due to the fact that these payments were probably delayed because you normally, when you pay, you have budget or straight or immediate. So you can choose to pay it after a month or a couple of days. Just waiting for everyone to complete their work. You can't pay someone that hasn't completed their work. Probably that's why they were delayed. Or they were made after the 25th because we only received the bank statement on the 25th. So what we're going to do now is to record all those EFT outstanding payments on the debit side because the outstanding payments, the bank will record them on the debit side. All right, that's it. It looks like that's it. I'm just going to check if I'm missing anything. According to this, the only thing I have not recorded is this one here, which is investment that has matured. That will be recorded in the cash receipts journal. It represents money that was received. When an investment matures, it means money is coming back to the business. Then you can find the totals for cash receipts and cash payment. The 143,200 from the cash receipts will be recorded on the debit side of the bank as total receipts. The 237,000 from the cash payments journal will be recorded on the credit side of the bank account as total payments. By this, you will notice that the credit side is bigger than the debit side. So the debit side is short by 44,080, meaning that when the credit exceeds the debit, the answer is negative, which is a bank overdraft or an unfavorable bank balance. That unfavorable bank balance, we are going to credit it in our bank reconciliation statement and then do the same thing. You will notice that here, the debit is greater than the credit. When you add the debit, you will get 87,050. Put the same total on the debit, subtract 44,080, subtract 360, subtract 22,500. 87,050 minus 44,080 minus 360 minus 22,500 will give you a balancing figure, which will be a balance as per the bank statement of 20,110. So according to the bank statement, we have a positive balance. Interesting. I had noticed problems with depositing of cash, or that is because of that cashier that took the money, deposited 37,000 according to the books, but what actually went into the bank account was 22,000. A couple of things that you can do here. I'm thinking, how was that even possible? Why was the cashier responsible for depositing money? And why was it only the cashier that was depositing money? Money is the most stolen item in any business. You can't afford such mistakes. Firstly, why didn't anyone responsible for deposit or the business bank account, why didn't they receive notifications? Was the payment authorized? By who? And why was it not detected on time? So let's look at the steps. Okay, not, that's incorrect. No deposit must be made without authorization. That's the first thing. It must be authorized. You need someone else's signature or two people's signature before the deposit can be made. Two individuals can be given the responsibility of depositing cash with the required two signatures. Or you can, we call them G4Ss in the hood, Kokasi. You can employ a the services of cash collecting security companies, or simply get rid of cash payments. So don't allow your customers to pay using cash. I realize that's what Woolworths is currently doing in some stores. They do not accept cash to safeguard themselves because now they get regular robberies, but also to safeguard the customer. It's not just about robberies. Apparently, according to this, even the cashiers can steal money. Got it. So allow customers to buy on credit. But I said in brackets, please know that you might lose cash customers, people that don't like using cards. Perform regular reconciliations, which is what they have done, honestly. I don't know why it was not picked up, but make sure the person that does the reconciliation statement is not the same person that was recording all the cash transactions. Okay. I see that I didn't put any point about notifications by email or SMSs. You can also put that as well. 2 marks for one legit question. That is it, guys. In the next video, I will be doing the same question, but it will be November 2023. Thank you for watching. I still would like to shout out Pretoria, Cape Town, Devon, Pietermaritzburg, Soweto, Joburg. Thank you for your support, guys. Please spread the word. Let everybody know about this cool channel that can enable you to get a distinction in accounting. Thanks again. Kgotso.